No play on one, followed by Harness Lightning on the Servant.
Saving an energy for himself.
Yep, if he caught, maybe he missed it. Then he could have saved one. We'll see.
Maybe?
I think he might have. Oh, no, he did
okay.
it, yep.
They were probably just scrambling for a die. I like Bolton the Servant because if we get a turn 3 Bristling Hydra, like, Greg's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and even just always having the extra mana up to help protect your 3-drop, stuff like that. It just...
John only has 6 energy now, probably because we had to turn 1 the Aether Hub for the Attune.
follows it up with a Brawler. That's it's definitely a big threat.
Go down to 5, go back up to 7. Vault.
It is one of the easier ones for Greg to deal with, but it looks like Greg, maybe missing out on white mana. I haven't gotten a great look at his hand yet.
Yeah,
he's
looks
got
like we have another
removal.
lightning. +1ing on the energy. Just free extra resources, which is great.
Yeah, but Greg misses his land drop. We'll see if John has a follow-up threat.
Yeah, we have a 4-mana Hydra in hand.
Yep. Again, that's going to be tough with Greg.
We have way
lands.
too much energy in stock for this to ever die now.
Yeah. This may be a quick one. I think John has a larger than life in hand, so if he can find the double strike, that will just be game.
Yeah.
Smuggler's Copter, great card, not good on turn 4 with nothing to accrue it.
Yeah. Short on land. Card's phenomenal, but again, nothing to crew, nothing to block the Hydra with. This could just be a lethal attack.
Yeah, I don't think John has the second pump, so I doubt he goes all in here. Another Attune.
Okay.
The deck is quite thin, at least at this point. The deck, it's super light on land, so.
And 12 is the appropriate number to pump a Hydra an even amount of times.
Yep. John is down to 2 cards in hand, though, so if Greg can somehow deal with this, maybe he's okay, but it's tough. This card is.
I like the 1 pump from John.
Yep, just make it a 4-turn clock as it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get big enough to shorten that clock anytime soon without pump spells.
Yeah.
But it could be to the point where John's got, I have X amount of damage and I can kill you in this amount of time.
Yep, Greg, a little frustrated, misses his land drops. His hand was all 4 drops.
Yeah.
So, understandable.
John's hand was pretty great.
John was going to win naturally the next 2 turns.
Yeah.
Basically. So, let's go to the sideboards. See what red-white maybe brings in.
I like the Galvanic Bombardments a lot against
Definitely,
this deck.
you need the early.
Like, they scale really well for each of the threats.
Yep.
I like the Chandra. Chandra's another way to deal with the Bristling Hydras. Chandra's another threat for itself.
Yeah, when I was playing this deck, I was taking the Gideons out and putting the Chandra in. Just because, like, you're kind of in. If you can deal with their things, you're going to win.
Yeah.
So you don't need the Gideon as an alternate win condition. So I liked that.
Skywhaler Shot's another great card.
Absolutely.
The last Harness Lightning's
I've
probably another
gone
great
back
card.
and forth on the Fragmentize just because
Pummeler?
Pummeler is so good, but it's so narrow. So I don't think he'll bring that in. As for Delano, probably just the Bombardments.
Yep.
I don't think he'll bring in the Fog, but crazier things have happened.
Yeah, like, a lot of the things that Greg can do isn't entirely combat damage. The Smuggler's Copter's attack triggers, the Pollard's attack triggers, being able to draw some more cards.
Yep.
So it's not all about combat damage in this deck. So I agree. I don't think that's there. I think that's there just to hedge against possible mirror matches.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's phenomenal. It's just a 1-mana counter spell for, 1 to 4 cards that your opponent could be casting.
Yep.
And, they utilize all their energy, a bunch of cards out of the hand, and you just tap 2, negate their entire turn, which is phenomenal. And then you get to go after they've tapped out and, go for your combo as well.
Yeah, pretty straightforward matchup here.
Yeah. So the removal spells in Greg Christie's list are the 3 Harness Lightnings and 4 Declaration Stones. So, like, the addition of the Bombardments are going to be great. It's going to be cheap, efficient removal spells to be able to get some of the early creatures off the floor.
Yep.
It answers Pummeler very well.
It kills everything but the
Hydra.
The Hydra, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that card is a huge issue.
Yeah. I played against the blue-red spells, like the Thermal Alchemist's deck, and, like, I wanted to bring in the Bombardment, but I never wanted to cast the first one ever.
The first one's usually so bad. But then
Because,
the next
like,
ones are
everything's
good.
3
It's
toughness.
yeah.
So, like, I just never wanted the first one. I just wanted to put the first one immediately into my graveyard and then cast every other after that.
Yep.
So that's a bit of an awkward spot as well. Weaver of Lightning might come in, but I don't think it's
I had
great
toyed
in
with
this matchup.
Yeah, I had toyed with it, but I didn't find it being high enough impact here.
Yeah,
it's
it answers the pummeler really, really well, but like you still have to cast 2 spells to get rid of the brawler. You still have to cast 2 spells to get rid of the conduits. Like, it's not that great. It doesn't block all that well either. Yeah. But like, I guess if you cast a spell on something else, you can take care of like the 2 toughness creatures.
Yeah, the block's okay. So.
It's the Hydra. Like everything else is fine to deal with, but the Bristling Hydra is the card that we need to deal with.
Hydra is a huge issue. And
I think if this deck does pick up in more popularity, I think Blessed Alliance is going to be where people go with this.
I got Blessed Alliance last night.
The card
toying around with this deck, and you know, I went all in on a pummeler, and I'm like, oh, they didn't have it, and then Alliance, there you go. So I could definitely see that coming in.
Yeah,
I have seen it in these decks before. It looks like Greg opted not to have it this weekend, but
I think it's a little narrow.
It was narrow before this crazy deck comes out of the
Like you would be okay with it in the white-red decks, but it lets the copter trigger get off, it lets the skyship trigger get off, and you don't really want them to have those things because you're answering their card 1 for 1, but they're filtering their draws, they're taking care of another one of your threats. I think the ability to answer something before it attacks is great, and like letting the pummeler attack isn't always fantastic because if they get the attack, then they have the build to smashes available.
Yep.
They have the blossoming defenses to protect their creatures. But like the Blessed Alliance is great against that, but if the pummeler player knows what they're doing,
they'll
they
attack
should
with a
play
servant or
around,
something,
you know, possible Blessed Alliances.
Yep.
I guess we're still waiting on sideboarding. These guys are probably shuffling up. Yeah, I'm excited to watch this match. Probably going to go pretty quickly again. I don't see this going for a lot more turns than
this matchup will be very quick. Both these guys are, straight to business.
Yeah.
I will say the one downside of John's deck, in a little bit of playtesting, it does have to mulligan a little bit more frequently than a deck like this would like.
Yeah.
Just because it plays a tune, so it cheats on the mana, but it looks like you got to keep 7 anyways.
Yeah.
Using said attune.
Yeah, I think this deck, what it does, I think, is so much better than what everything else is capable of mana-wise. Like, your low land count in combo with your attunes that basically make it free to give you energy.
It's actually just beneficial.
Phenomenal. Right, because you have less air in your deck, and you have more ways to generate energy and still keep hitting your land drops when you need to.
Exactly.
But Greg Cressy, not quite
starting
the
off better.
most optimal start, but a turn 2 copter is, it's pretty good copter start.
For sure, especially because now it almost turns any threat he plays now into a pseudo haster.
Yep. So like this turn to be able to go
he's got a good
drop
turn here. He's got the bombardment, and if he has a 2-drop, that'll just be the perfect turn.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what our most optimal line here is, to be able to cast something that can crew the counter.
Oh, he did bring in the Weavers.
Okay.
That looks like what he's going to go for right now. And,
I'm not a huge fan of the Weaver in this spot.
Yeah, we talked about it. I don't think it's high enough impact, but if he has enough instants and sorceries in his hand,
so
maybe he proves us wrong.
I don't think we crew the copter either.
No, I think he's crewing the copter here.
Okay. All right. The draw discard's really important, so I can get behind crewing the copter. That looked like another
pitches a second Weaver.
Yeah. See, that's where I like the Weavers, is having them in multiples. So everything has 2 toughness in this deck. And it looks like we left the Gideons in as well.
Yep, he did leave at least one Gideon in, and he's got a Deck and Stone. That was the loot, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's got some good answers for sure.
Another good answer. We have a Galvanic Bombardment in hand. We have great removal spells, but John has combo kill possibilities.
For sure, and I do see John does have the Hydra. It's just whether or not the game will go that long.
Yeah, I don't think we have the lands that we need.
He has an attune here.
Okay. Attune, go back to 5, hit our second land drop. If we have another 2-drop,
I think he has a servant.
Great.
I think he has a servant here to follow it up, if I saw his hand correctly. So that's a really nice sequence. He'll even have the extra mana up next turn for the Hydra, assuming he hits his land drop to protect it. Though that does have built-in protection already. Oh no, it's just a brawler.
Okay.
Well, actually, this could work out really well for Greg, depending on how he wants to sequence his removal.
Yeah.
Because he does have removal for both of them. Yeah. Well,
that's another Deck and Stone.
A lot of Deck and Stones. Yeah, this is great.
I like this line a lot.
Okay, I think Greg is thoroughly in the driver's seat.
Yeah, because we still have the Bombardment in hand, so any other 2 toughness or less creature that comes down, we still have a removal spell for. Instant speed, which is great.
Yep, and now he still gets to filter his draws. I wouldn't be surprised to see him now pitch. Well, I would pitch the Spirit now.
Weak,
before,
but we definitely want to hit our 4th land drop.
Oh,
if
for
we're
sure.
going to hit the 4th land drop in Cascadian, we're in
Yeah,
a
that'll
great
be
spot.
just too much for Greg to handle, though.
All right,
Here comes
so,
the Hydra.
So we're not short on lands, which is great. John going back up to 10. So we have at least 3 Hydra activations. So Hydra is not going anywhere.
Yeah, and he's got some clues to crack to, refill his hand once he gets a turn. Here comes an... we're going to go...
The worst inspiring Vantage we could
well,
ever play.
Yeah, right now the removal's not going to work for Greg.
No.
He's thinking about it. You know, if I was Greg, maybe I would have looted there first, tried to hit an untapped land and land the Gideon.
Okay, so it's still forcing John to use his energy, which I think is okay. But I
would have probably wanted to see if I had an untapped land here before playing the Vantage.
Yeah.
Very likely that would be a card you maybe want to discard, but second
yeah,
Gideon...
because then all the Gideons can start chump blocking.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because Hydra on its own doesn't have trample.
Yeah. I like going for a Deccan Stone on the Hydra.
And forcing him to use an energy.
So what happens
Okay,
is...
DePaul it. I didn't realize he had a nice follow-up, so that
Yeah.
actually is nice.
So what happens if you Deccan Stone, the Weaver does its trigger, and if John doesn't respond to the Weaver trigger, then the Bombardment can go after the Hydra and force John to use 2 activations.
Yeah, but then that is still
just
2
one.
counters.
Yeah.
The counters do stay, so it's...
Yeah. But, like, it's the only time Bombardment's going to be good against this creature.
Yeah. Oh, God. That was 4, 5, 6, 7,
8,
16. Greg was at 16. I didn't even see him take any... He took the 1 Weaver hit. Or the 1 Voltaic Brawler hit.
Yep, the 1
Yep.
Brawler hit.
All right,
And that's why we love this deck.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Greg was
Cressy-
in the driver's seat all,
Yeah,
pretty
Greg
much the
Cressy
entire game.
had a really normal white-red vehicles draw.
A
You know,
little
maybe
slow,
a little
no one
slow.
drop.
Yeah, a little on the slower drop.
But he had,
We don't really like the Weavers that much. I don't think they're that good. So if we swap the Weavers back for anything else, I think it's a bit better of a draw. But John Delano's just like, here's a 4-3 that you can't beat. Pump him, double strike, you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, that was 1 attack with the Hydra, right? He played Hydra
One
the previous
brawler.
turn.
People of Kaladesh, whether you hail from distant fields or greenbelt towns or from our great city centers, this is your time. The Kaladesh Inventors Fair invites you, our best and brightest, to share your ingenuity with the world. As an official entrant, you may fuel your creativity with unrestricted ether access. Demonstrate that you can channel the ether into bold new creations. Showcase your ideas, your inventions, your genius. In this time when anything is buildable, you can invent your tomorrow